is Kitty, like a cat, and welcome to my Flosstube channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thank you for your patience. It has been a minute since my last video. Life stuff happened, most of which is, you may notice I have a new background, and I was on this couch I think last time in a different location. We moved and it's been a lot. We were able to paint before we moved in, and so I painted this room to match my couch. And we're still, I mean, so all around me, I'm looking around, all around me is just boxes and bags of clothes and stuff, so it's still very much not in its final stage, but thank you for bearing with me. I did miss making videos. This will probably be my new filming spot. There's good natural light in here. Today it's raining, so I am having to use the overhead light, so there's a little bit of a shadow on my face, but I think the stitching will look good, and that's what's important here. The only other thing I wanted to say up top, because it's a thing you have to say now, but this space, you are welcome as long as you're not a fascist. That's about it. Okay, I love you guys. Let's talk stitching. I have finishes. So last year I did a year of starts. I roll it back a little. I plan to do a whip parade, so I'm not going to show you like everything I started and stitched since the last time I made a video, which was the end of October. You'll be able to get caught up when I do the whip parade. You'll see everything. So this is a selection of things that I've been doing recently, but I do believe the 3 finishes I'm about to show you are all the finishes that I have, all the things I've finished since you last saw me here. Wolfgang has come to visit. Hi, baby. All right. This is in the order that I finished them. You want to sit down? Okay. First, I have here. I need to. This will work. It is a Mill Hill Santa. This is a kit from Mill Hill. It's the Smoky Mountain Santa, and I live in the Smoky Mountains, and so I knew I always wanted to stitch this one. I bought it, I think, last year or the year before. I had stitched one of the Arctic ones with the seal, and I enjoyed it, so I bought this one. And then I started and finished this one this year, and I enjoyed it so much you will see in haul that it affected some purchases. We went to visit my partner's parents for the holidays. We were there for a week, and I finished the stitching there. I did almost all of it. I had started it at home and then took it there because I figured this would be a good travel project. I think Mill Hills are great travel projects, but I don't do the beading when I'm traveling, and this bad boy is just stacked with beads. Like, as I was beading, it just got heavier and heavier. This is definitely the most beads I've put in one of these. So I got all the stitching done, and then I got home on New Year's Eve. I started the beads. New Year's Day, I finished the beads. So that was really exciting. And then back at the end of October, Sage, the designer for Night Spirit Studios, passed away. She had been battling cancer since 2020, which is pretty much almost the entire time I was aware of her as a designer. I think she shared her diagnosis with us like 6 months after I found out about her patterns. I've always been a big fan, so, and I have a bunch. I did go ahead, so her partner is still running the business, and so the patterns are for sale, and just to support him in this time, I went ahead and bought like every pattern I'd ever looked at. So I sent them, you know, some funds. I also bought a hoodie that's really cool. I have my Pam and Steph sweatshirt on today. Okay, so I started this in November and I finished it in January. I'm pretty sure this design is just called Lilith. The model and the way it's charted is to stitch it on black fabric with white thread. I don't stitch on black fabric, so I pulled some stuff from Stash and just kind of like used my intuition as to what I wanted to do. The red thread is a anchor floss that I found years ago. And then the green for that one snake is a DMC, one of those DMC variegated. What I did, obviously, like, it's stitched all in one color. The model is. And I just felt like I wanted to draw out some of the elements. So I hadn't really noticed like the snakes and the apples looking at it because I don't know. I just thought it was a pretty border. And so when I realized that there were snakes and apples, I decided this one is green because that's the snake. And then I changed this apple. My camera ran out of storage, and so I had to figure that out. But I believe I was saying that right here on the apple at the top, it's charted to just be the same as this one, but I made this one look like that it had a bite taken out of it. So that's the snake in the garden. That's the bite. And the rest of them are symbolic. Anyhow, I like it a lot. I'm going to frame it and put it with my other Lilith things. And then I think this one is going to be exciting for all of us because I showed this pattern, this project in my first video ever. I have finished this one. I think, okay, I always call it like, I think it's Cosmic Witch. Whatever the title of it, you can find this pattern if you go to Stitch Sprout on Etsy. She's also on Instagram and Patreon. And this was a Patreon pattern, but it is now available on Etsy. So I'm going to bring it in a little closer. Well, okay, hold up. Most of this is in the called for DMC. The one of the golds, I didn't have that DMC, and so I decided to just pull an overdyed that I had. And I don't remember what it was. I don't have it. And then when I was finishing this up in January, I had recently finished that Mill Hill, and I was like obsessed with beading, and so I said, you know what? It needs beads. So there's constellations on the brim of her hat, and I made all of the I gave beads to where the stars are. There would be, I also put beads, a few of them in her hair. And there's these little like diamond shapes, and I put beads there too. I think she looks really pretty. It is quite extra, you know, but I think she deserved it. This fabric is a Monaco that I dyed with Rit dye. I believe I used apple green, lemon yellow, and hunter green. When I dye fabric, I mix different pots of colors, and then I put it where I want it, basically. I've thought about maybe doing a video on how I do that at some point. So if that's something you'd be interested in, I could do that. I think she's really cool. Now, a few months ago, Stitch Sprout released, I think it's called a Cottage Garden Witch, and it's sort of a companion, about the same size, but it's a like cottage core witch, and I want to do that one too. So I want to do it on a Monaco as well. So I'm probably going to dye a piece so that they match. This is 28 count. So I'm excited about that because this was really fun to stitch, and I think that one will be too. I think they'll be pretty together. I like to think they're friends. Okay, that was all my finishes. and those were all finished in January. I think it's kind of funny because I barely had any finishes in 2025 because I was doing all those starts, and like the minute I'm not doing all the starts, I like finish everything. Um, and so next I'll show you whips, and I've gotten some pretty good progress on some projects which I don't think you've seen before. So that's fun. Um, First up, this project is in this So Much to Love Valentine's bag. These aren't necessarily in order, they're just in the order that they're sitting here. This is Iron Maiden from D's 20 Stitches and Uncanny Kari. I think if you go to either one of their site, I know if you go to Uncanny Kari's site, which let me, you can get it, and I think you can get it from D as well. As far as I know, it's only available as a PDF now. This was a virtual retreat pattern several years ago. I did not go to that retreat, but they had printed copies and the materials available from Brin and Needle sometime after the retreat. So I don't know the status of that because they don't, D and Kari they don't tend to provide printed charts like very often. They also they design like as a group, but they also design individually. They have different sites. This also has a companion piece that I've already stitched. Don't touch me. Okay. I'm using, as I kind of alluded to, the called for materials. These aren't available anymore as far as I am aware, but there's only 4 threads, so I think you could easily pick some DMCs or something. They are really pretty. So, and then same goes for the fabric, but you could find a pink that would look nice. So last year I decided to restart this. I had been stitching that same piece of fabric but with 2 strands, and I didn't like how it was looking. So I picked out what I had done and I restarted. So what I got done last year was like the outline of like the whole outline shape. So this year I have nearly finished her face. I've done the whole face. Filled in the bow, filled in these spikes. I've started on the motifs that go throughout the body, and I did that whole bottom thing down there. So, gotten some good progress. I think it looks really cool. I'm glad that this is moving along because I had started it, I think, back in like 22 or something. Didn't really like how it was going. So then I ended up switching gears and doing the small that I bought with it, and then came back to it last year. Finally did the unpicking that I didn't want to do. I think it looks great with 1 strand, which is what I'm doing now. Yeah, I just do not like 2 strands on 36. But one more time. Okay, that's exciting. I kind of go in and out thinking I'm going to finish it this year and then say no, I'm definitely not going to finish it. So I have no idea, but if I don't, then I've gotten some great progress, so it'll be really fun to like get it back out next year. Okay. This is what I was stitching on this morning. So the next 2 are, last year I had Blackbird Fractor as my focus to finish. These next 2 are my focus to finish for this year. Blackbird Fractor I was only maybe 20% done with, and it's there's kind of a lot of stitching, especially in those birds. So that was the only one that I picked. This year the projects I have that have been languishing don't have quite as much stitching left to do on them, and so I picked 2 for sure and 1 third one that I can throw in if I finish these early. So this, I don't remember what this is called or where it's from, but I know I got it on Etsy and I think you could find it. It is a pattern that it's just words, and it lists out the Hobbit meals. So it says breakfast, second breakfast, 11s, luncheon, and then it will say afternoon tea, dinner, and supper. And so I have, so this is a Bestitch Me. I think it's called like Evergreen, the fabric. And then the flosses, I picked some random overdyes in my collection that reminded me of sort of like the colors. Here, is that better? Yeah. The colors that are used in the costumes and set design of the Lord of the Rings movies. And I have my little Frodo and Gandalf needle minder, which is really cute. I got that from Mad for Minders. Ooh, I want to show you. The needle minder I have on Iron Maiden is this Skeletor Live, Laugh, Love, which I think is really funny. And I got this one from Rebel Stitcher several years ago. That one's really heavy. It's like metal and the magnet's rather thick. But okay. Yeah, so I have afternoon tea, dinner, and supper left to do. And I really want to get this done. I want to put it in my kitchen. And I think it'll be cute. And this goes pretty fast and it's like fun to stitch. The reason it's been languishing is it's just not like, it doesn't pull me in, like, because it's not that interesting to look at. Like I want it done. I think it's cute, but there's not like any cute motifs or whatever. But it's fun to stitch. Like I enjoy doing these letters. So today, like it goes pretty fast. Like today I did like from the C to the N. Like that was just like with my coffee and then some after lunch because it's a Sunday right now. So yeah. I have confidence I will be able to finish that one this year. It's just been sticking around since 2021. I started it. And then I think I restarted it because I was doing 2 strands. So anytime I restart something, they stick around longer than I think is desirable. But sometimes you gotta restart something, you know? You just gotta. This is my other focus to finish for the year. This one was restarted 3 times. Started 3 times. Restarted twice. This is Stacy Nash. Here, let me take that out. It's like double glare because the image is like a photograph on it. So this still might be glary, but oh, that's better. I love this. I just like the composition of it. And I have for a long time. This one, it says 2010, so it's been out for a while. So when I started this, I did not have overdyes. Like I didn't have any overdyes. I had never stitched with them, I don't think. Like it's an old one. Like I've had it for a while. And so I did the DMC conversion, which is what I did. I used to always do. Just always with DMC. And the DMCs don't look anything like the model, but they also just look weird. Like maybe even the model flosses aren't that pretty. They're really dingy and dull, and I struggled a lot with, I think at one point I just bought the overdyes, and then I don't know. Now, okay, one more time. Take another look at this and think about like how many colors you think is probably in this. And then look at the look at this. This is just me pulling things, trying things. So this is the palette. I don't know how much of anything I've used. I've used just random things, and I've basically told myself. So that's, I think that one seems to have a storied history, right? It kind of makes sense that it has taken me this long. Like that's why it's a focus to finish, because it kind of frustrates me. I have to make a lot of decisions about colors to use because I don't like the called for and I don't like the DMC conversion. And so I love the piece. I like the design, but I don't like the colors. So I even have a thread on my needle. But it's not a hanging thread. Okay. this is where we are. And what I did, so I've had that house done for ages. And the lantern and stuff. But I did all these flowers and the keys and a bunch of this like stick border thing and the vines. Some vines. I'm really enjoying the flowers. I am picking colors just as I go. Because again, the colors it called for were like brown. I wasn't feeling it. So this is gonna look, it's gonna look a lot different from the model, but it's gonna look like how the model looks in my head. I think this fabric is an XJU design. Bunny? Something bunny. It's a purplish gray. I think it's really pretty. I should try to see if I can get more of it. Mad for Minders, needle minder. Got a little witch on it. So, okay, I remember too. I pulled this out last year. It's one of those charts that's, it's several pages, but it doesn't have the little, the like columns where it's like overlap, like that's shaded so you know like where to pick up from your last stitches. It doesn't have that. It just cuts off and starts. And I had mangled this kitty cat because he was on the page cut, and so I had to just do a lot of work to get him right last year, and then I just put it away in a fit of anger. So yeah, this one's been grieving me for quite a while, but I want it done. I like it. So you're gonna see that one throughout the year because it's a focus to finish, and I really hope that I do. I'm a little less confident, but I was having fun with those flowers. Finally, I think that's the first time I've had fun with this project, so I'm gonna bring that energy into the year, right? Okay. Speaking of my payment stuff, sweatshirt, how excited are we about Just Keep Stitching Co? I am so happy for Steph. I don't know her personally, but I've been following them for a long time. She and I are similar in age, and I've also kind of had some career, like my career's taking its shape, and I'm just happy for her, watching her grow into herself. So, and I'm excited to do market shopping. I've already started my ordering from her for market. This market, by the by, I had convinced myself that I don't need anything. But these designers are giving me temptation, so I think we're gonna see some haul come March, April. This next project is a memorial piece for my grandma, and so this is a bag that I made. It is probably the nicest bag I've made. I've made several. I think it's the most recent and it's the best. I like a top zipper I have found. I've tried the ones with like the zipper here, like the So Much to Love one. They're harder to do. This is obviously easier to do, but I also like it because I feel like I can use that space at the top more. So I don't mind it. If I make more bags, I will make them like this. It's the edges, not finished. I think that's fine. It's fine for me. Yeah. But anyway, this fabric, it was a Fat Quarter Shop Lori Holt collection, and it reminds me of my grandma's kitchen. She had a bunch of like vintage stuff. I mean, because she just hadn't upgraded her kitchen since my dad was a child, but this feels like her kitchen. It feels like her. So I made this bag in honor of this project, which is in honor of my grandmother. This is Winter Rose Manor from Brenda Gervais, Thy Needle and Thread, with Thy Needle and Thread. I don't have the booklet with me. I just have my like photocopied version, but it's really, yeah, you've probably seen it, and if you haven't, it's really easy to look up, and also I have a bunch of it done, so ta-da. I've been working on this. My grandmother passed away in January 2023. I started it in January 24. I was going to start it on her birthday, August 23, but I was still too sad, frankly. But I started in her memory in January 24, and I work on it every January now. And it is quite wintry. I mean, it's in the name. So January is a nice time to work on it. It feels appropriate. So there's 3 different borders in this one. I have finished this big flower border. So that goes all the way down on this side. It's I stitch in hand and I roll my edge, so it's rolled up, sorry. And then there's this little diamond border, which I loved. I worked on that this time, this year. And I just need to finish filling them in, but I love diamond borders. And then there's this berry border that goes down the rest of this side and down the bottom. I have done what I do and kind of just, the colors are not called for. It's there's some of them are called for, some of them I did some recharting on the female cardinal because and I'm gonna need to backstitch her beak and feet, but because she was just brown, and female cardinals a lot of times they have some red on their tuft and the tips of their wings and their tail, and so I just wanted to add that in. I'm using Raspberry Frost, General Art Raspberry Frost for the house because I wanted it to be like obviously pink. It looks pink in the model, and then it's like white. Like it's called for a white. I am rambling. Okay, what did I do? I finished these window panes and I did this entire berry basket or flower basket and the flowers in it, and the diamond border, and then worked down this berry border. Yeah, so I worked in this corner. I didn't have like any of that done, so I did that big basket. Oh yeah, okay. Personalizations. I put my grandmother's birth. There's a place to put like the year you stitched it, and then I just scooched in her death year as well. So her birth year and her death year, and then I got her. There's spots for 3 letters, and so I just put her first initial for her preferred name, and then her maiden name and her married name. And she loved cardinals. And she was a very classy lady. This reminds me of her. It's not necessarily my style, but I love stitching it because I think she would like it, even though she hated cross stitch so much that when she saw me stitching, she would just be like, I hate cross stitch. But I feel like at the end of the day, it's pretty and she would appreciate it. She did crewel work and surface embroidery. She enjoyed that. So this is my needlework to accompany hers. What am I trying to say? Whatever. I just like this project and I'm happy, and I'm in no rush to finish it, but it gets progress every year, and it'll definitely get done. Yeah. Oh, this little needle minder. I don't remember where she's from, but it's a little Beatrix Potter mouse. Very cute. That's all the whips I really had pulled out because of those finishes. That's honestly if you include the finishes, that's honestly a lot of what I've worked on in the last 2 months. So that's kind of December, January, and beginning February. November, I don't even remember what I did in November. That's when I started packing for the move, and I blacked out, I think. Okay. Zipper. So we're gonna do some haul, and we're starting off with a very topical haul, which is what I got from the Jingle Ball. I did go to Jingle Ball. I attended 2 classes and I went to the shopping hall. I didn't go to any rooms and I didn't sit in on any of the talks. And the main reason for that is that we spent that whole weekend painting, and so anytime I wasn't in those classes, I was at our new place. So But I did, because it was my first Jingle Ball, I went ahead and bought the Jingle Ball baubles, ornaments. Um, I think this guy on in the front, this funny little Santa, and then the Stacy Nash gingerbread in a little dome. I think those are my favorites. I'm gonna do a ton of Christmas stitching. We got a lot of Christmas content today, though, I'm gonna be honest. Then I got the Stacy Nash, this like cutout house. That was, it was an exclusive last year, but then she also hasn't like released it at market or anything. And she made it available again this year at Jingle Ball. So I was really excited because I wanted it. I just like this little cutout house. I don't know, I think it's cute. I got the Jingle Ball exclusive animal cracker, this little skunk. What's her name? Sugar. She has a little Christmas sweater on with a little elbow patch. She's really cute. And then I think this is what I'm most excited about, for sure. I got the Blue Flowers Winter Moth, and I got the thread pack. The thread pack comes with like enough floss to stitch it over one. It's not like full skeins. There's one, the white is a full skein. But that's just gorgeous. I don't know what I'm gonna do for fabric, because that fabric's also really pretty. But I don't need to buy fabric, I have so much, so we'll figure it out. But I'm excited about that, and that, I'm gonna be honest, I probably won't do the snowflakes, and this will just be an anytime design for me, like not just a winter design, but I think it's gorgeous. Also, look at this cute on her Blue Flowers shipping box, the doggies. Okay, that's all I got from the Jingle Ball. Again, I know, very topical. How many months late, but that's not all the Christmas haul, because as I said, when I stitched this guy, I got into the beads in a big way. I was loving it. And I know that Mill Hill kits can be, and have been lately, hard to find or to restock. Like, retailers have had a hard time restocking them. And so there are several, I enjoyed that so much. I said, oh, there's several Santas I want to stitch. I should get them so that I have them in case they get hard to find. And then I found out that perforated paper is no longer being manufactured. As far as I know, that is true. So I went and bought all the Mill Hill Santas on perforated paper. As far as I can tell, I've looked in all these kits, and as far as I can tell, they were all the old stock that had perforated paper with them. So this is all the Santas that I really wanted to stitch. So I'm just going to show them to you. This is from, also I think these are in order of like oldest to most recent. This is Eastern Star Santa from the year 2000. I love his coat. This is Woodland Santa. Oh, no. Okay. Because they have like the collection title and then their title. This is Holly and Ivy Santa from 2001. And I think that he reminds me of the Ghost of Christmas Present from the Muppets Christmas Carol, which is my favorite Christmas movie. So I'm going to change him to have red hair like that, like the Ghost of Christmas Present. This is the Arctic Circle Santa. So I did the seal one from this. I think, oh no, I'm wrong. It must have been something else, because it shows you the other two on the back here. But this is from 2009, the year I graduated high school. And it has this cute goat, and I like the Santa in this like winter coat. I I got the from the seafaring Santas, the Botswan Santa. This one I got purely because my partner is from Cape Cod. He was a lifeguard for 8 years, and so on the sea. Yeah, the sea is just part of our life. And then the Celtic Santas, this is the Scotland Santa. I like this one. And most recent, this is from 2021. This is the Christmas Day Santas, and I actually want all 3 of them. But I got one this time, which is, what's this one called? Christmas Morning. Nope, no, that's better. I'm going to change the dog's color to look like my dog. And then I think I'm going to change the Santa to be me. Like, to change the hair color and remove the mustache. We'll see how that goes. I'll need to put, like, a face in it, but I've done that before. I've, like, modified patterns to do that. Okay. Oh, this one's kind of wintry, too. I got this, or like, little ornament one, or fridge magnet or whatever it is. Cozy Cabin. And then, to finish out the Christmas themes, I guess, I got this door stopper, Bucilla kit. My mom used to do these kits, and I have done some ornaments. My brother, I've been wanting to do a stocking for myself. And then my brother and his wife they're looking into school zones because they're family planning. And I want to, any little nieces, nephews, whatever that I have, I want to make them stockings. So I wanted to practice because it's not something I do like a lot, but I know I can do it. And I felt like this would be good because it's sort of like, it's just like, I don't know. It just is. It's not a stocking, but it's the same skill set. And I thought it was really cute. Okay. Oh, and one last, I did get this Mill Hill, this little lizard, Lizzie. I actually got 2 of these because I taught my brother how to stitch, and I wanted to give it to him. I thought he would probably like it, but I liked it too, so. Flung it. So, as I said, I found out that perforated paper is no longer being manufactured. So I went ahead and got just a few. I got really into the beading and I got scared. Because it's really fun. And every time I work on perforated paper, I enjoy it. So each one of these has two sheets. So it's like 12 sheets of perforated paper. I feel like that'll last me. Listen, I don't know. I might love the perforated PVC. That's what they're replacing it with in the kits. It's a type of plastic, but it's not plastic canvas. It's thin, like perforated paper. Maybe I'll love it. But just in case, I wanted a little bit so that if I get a kit, so like this is enough where if I get a kit in the future, like a Mill Hill, and it's, so this is the size of the Mill Hill, like, Santas, which are larger. I also do these smaller ones, which have like a teeny little piece of perforated paper. It's not even as big as this package. But the Santas, I'm like, I think I could get like 4 Santas on, or 2, well, like 2 Santas and some ornaments on each one. So if in the future I want to switch it out, I will now be able to do that. And then again, I'm in my beading phase, so I got another tacky bill because mine's kind of crusty, dusty, nasty. They collect dust. When you have them open, there's dog hair in it and stuff. I've been told you can wash them and they'll stay sticky. I have not attempted. We're not done with the beads. When I say I got into beads, I just decided that beads are life, I guess. Because I can't find everything I bought in this one order. But I will. One day I will. And I'll show you. But I had gotten a gift card back in my birthday, for my birthday in June, last June. And I hadn't used it. It was for 123 Stitch, and I hadn't used it because it was quite generous. And it's kind of one of those things where you're like paralyzed with, you're like, what could I possibly use this on? So I decided to use it to buy several Mirabilia, like not full kits, but I'm going to show you one that I did fully kit up. The rest of them, I got the beads, the chart, if I didn't already have it. Several of these, I already had the chart. And then usually the water lily silks. And I'll get the DMCs later. So that's the plan. This one, I actually plan to start next month. And it is my first Mirabilia. So you're probably like, Kitty, why'd you kit up so many Miras if you've never done one before? I've done one Nora Corbett. I have one Nora Corbett whip. I'm obsessed with Miras. I spend so many hours looking at them. Like, I'll go and look at all the designs. I'll add them to my wish lists. I have them on Pinterest boards. Like, I love Mirabilias. And I just have had, I think what a lot of us have, this like fear of starting them. And I just finally like talked to myself. I had a real like, Kitty, listen, you're being ridiculous because you are an experienced stitcher. And I mean, heck, the hours that I have spent stitching, right? Like, it's not rocket science. It's just cross stitch chart. 2, they're not that big. They're big. Don't get me wrong. They're big, but it's not like a Haid, you know? And it's basically just like 2 charts put together. How many whips do I have, right? I get that. And then the other thing is, I know I like beading. And I think beading is, and I like backstitch. So I think those are the things that kind of like some people don't like and that scare people. It's been scaring me too. I also think I had like, the one remaining I'm not sure about is how on earth, if you do Miras, how do you bead it if you're using like a Q-snap? Because do you just always have to have a Q-snap that has the whole design, or can you like roll it, you know? Like, because then if you put the clamp down on beads, even if it doesn't break the beads, which I think it'll break the beads, at least sometimes, even if it doesn't, it's gonna like, they'll go sideways, you know, and they won't look right. Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. If the scroll frame is but I mean, people stitch Miras in Q-snaps. But I'd rather have my fabric stretch to bead. I'd rather not bead in hand. And I'm going to be stitching it with my fabric stretched. Even though I do stitch in hand sometimes as well. It depends on the pattern. And with these, okay. Anyway, if you have advice, please let me know, because this year I'm going to dedicate 3 months to Mirabilias. I'm going to do Mira March, Mira May, and Nora November. Just to get some pretty good progress, and now I have plenty to work on. So some of it I'm sure I'll figure it out while I'm going, but that is a little bit of a conundrum to me. They're just so big. Like, I've beaded things, but smaller things. So this is the Sea Merchant's Wife. This is MD 193. Mirabilias are numbered. Hold on. I don't know what year this is, but I'm gonna try to get, oh, that's not gonna focus. Okay. Well, this is, oh, she's so beautiful. Yeah, I'm obsessed. I love the colors in the hair. I love it. Okay. I was inspired because I received this piece of linen in my, I've been kind of switching up the count and whether it's the neutrals or the colors, like for my fabric of the month from Be Stitch Me, and for this month I was doing the colors. I usually do the neutrals, but I got this piece, and see, let me see. It's not even showing as like, so this middle part, I'm sure you can tell, is like a little brighter. Well, it's like more vibrant. It's like blue on the outside and then this beautiful, like, vibrant aqua teal on the middle. And so it's more green than it's showing in the middle. So anyway, I just saw it and I said, that's a mermaid has to go on that. Like, it just has to. This is a 28 count, but I don't mind. I don't care. So I know a lot of people, they only ever stitch mirrors on 32 count, which is what they're called for. One of the main reasons being the beads. In my opinion, again, as someone who's beaded a lot, it's more of a problem to go smaller than bigger if you're worried about the beads fitting. I don't really mind, like, if a bead is too small, or if a bead's kind of small in a square, I'll just make sure to do a full cross, and then it'll be covered with floss. Like, the square will be covered with floss and then have a little bead in the middle. So that doesn't bother me at all. And there's some pretty chunky beads in this one. Yeah. So you can maybe see, these ones are huge. And there's a bunch of those. So I am not scared about the beading situation. So I got the bead pack. I got the chart. I got my fabric. I have the water lily silks and hold on. So both of these silks are in her hair. Or so like these two are in her hair. And then also on her tail. Just look. I think that's just gonna look gorgeous. And then I got the, you can see. So I need to put these on floss drops to get prepared because I'm gonna start this next month. I'm gonna start it in March and I'm gonna work on it in March and in May. I'm gonna give myself a break for April. And in April I'll probably be starting some market stuff. So yeah, I got fabric, floss, beads, and chart. And I'm all ready. And then whenever I find in one of these boxes the other charts and bead packs that I got, I'll show them to you because they're really pretty. I have made a mess around myself that I will now put up, or attempt to, because where do you even put things away when there's nowhere to put them? Well. Thank you for watching, my friends. Truly, from my heart, stay safe. And you are welcome here. I am not super active on Instagram anymore, like even just as a lurker. But if you need anything, reach out and I'll try to keep an eye on my notifications. And be well as you can be.